This is a critical moment, one that will not be repeated. God is pleading for your attention, and it is not by chance. If you are seeing this now, it is because He has an urgent message for you, a message that only you need to hear. Time is running out, and opportunities like this will not come again. What He is about to reveal to you is so powerful that it could change your life forever, especially in the area of your finances. This is an exclusive call, a unique invitation that not everyone will receive. God knows that you have been struggling, that you have faced financial difficulties that seem endless. But today, He promises you something extraordinary. If you listen to His message until the end, you will witness a financial miracle in your life. This is not an empty promise. It is a divine guarantee for those who trust and act in faith. This is your moment, but you must act quickly. What He has for you will not wait. Every second counts, and this could be the last chance for you to receive the blessing you have been waiting for. This message is not for just anyone, it is for you. God has seen your struggle and has heard your prayers. He knows you need an urgent solution, and He is ready to deliver it. But you must be willing to listen, to believe, and to act. Do not let this opportunity slip away. What you are about to discover could be the key to unlocking a financial miracle in your life, one that will transform not only your financial situation but your entire future. But remember, this moment is fleeting and will not return. Act now, before it is too late. From the first breath of the morning to the last sigh of the day, God is present. He is not a distant observer. He walks with you, ensuring that you are never alone. Every step you take, every decision you make, is guided by His loving hand. This presence is not an abstract concept. It is a tangible reality that manifests in every financial blessing, in every small miracle that occurs. It is not just about feeling His presence but actively recognizing it, opening your heart and accepting that He is by your side at all times, even when money seems scarce. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you have been protected by something you cannot see? That unexpected sense of peace in the midst of chaos, that solution that appears just when you need it most, is no coincidence. It is God, working silently, showing His unconditional love. He is like a shadow that follows you, always present, always ready to intervene when necessary. No matter how great the challenge, His presence assures you that everything will be all right. It is easy to forget that we are not alone, especially when we face financial difficulties or problems that seem insurmountable. But it is in these moments that God's presence becomes even more evident. He not only hears you when you pray but also acts through the people and circumstances around you. When you feel like all is lost, remember that He is there, working financial miracles in your life, even when you cannot see it. Sometimes, miracles are not as obvious as we expect. They do not always come in the form of a great event, but rather manifest in the small details of daily life. It is in these moments that God's presence becomes clearer. That unexpected extra money, that opportunity that arises out of nowhere, are not coincidences. They are signs that God is at work, blessing you with abundance and ensuring that you have what you need. Life can be unpredictable, full of ups and downs that constantly challenge us. But no matter how uncertain the path, the constant presence of God sustains you. He is with you in every decision, in every step you take, guiding you toward a future full of blessings. It is not just about having faith that things will get better. It is about trusting that God has already prepared a path of prosperity and financial miracles for you. Often, we underestimate the power of prayer and constant connection with God. There is no need to wait for a specific moment to talk to Him. His presence is available at all times, anywhere. Imagine having a friend who is always available to listen, who offers advice and support no matter the time. That is the relationship God wants to have with you, one where His presence is a constant source of strength and direction. God's presence not only protects you but also guides you toward decisions that lead to a fuller life. Sometimes we feel a nudge or an intuition to do something, and we do not always understand where it comes from. That is His way of directing us toward paths that bring blessings and financial miracles. Listening to and following these signals can be the difference between a life of scarcity and one of abundance. We all face moments of doubt when it seems that God is far away and that our prayers go unheard. However, it is in these moments that His presence is closest. He not only listens but also responds in ways that we do not always understand immediately. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to see His hand at work, to recognize that even in difficulties, He is working in your favor. The constant presence of God is also reflected in how our needs are met, sometimes in unexpected ways. That friend who appears just when you need support, the job opportunity that arises at the right moment, are examples of how God takes care of us. It is not just about receiving blessings, it is about recognizing that each one of them is a reflection of His love and commitment to you. Modern life can be overwhelming, with so many responsibilities and worries that we often feel alone in our struggle. But the truth is, we are never alone. God is with us every step of the way, every moment of our lives. His presence is not just for the good days, but also for the difficult ones. When money is scarce and worries abound, His presence is a reminder that there is hope and that financial miracles are possible. We forget that God's presence is a resource we can turn to at any moment. There is no need to wait for things to go wrong to seek His guidance and support. He is there, ready to help you at all times, in every decision you make. Whether in financial, family, or personal matters, His presence is an inexhaustible source of wisdom and strength. God's constant presence is a reminder that no matter how big the problem, there is always a solution. It is not just a spiritual concept, it is a reality that manifests in every aspect of your life. When you face a challenge, instead of letting worry take over, remember that God is with you, guiding you toward the solution and ensuring that you receive the financial blessings you need. How would your life be if you truly believed that God is with you at all times? Think about the decisions you would make, the peace you would feel knowing that you are not alone on this journey. God's constant presence is not just a comfort, it is a source of power that allows you to face any challenge with confidence. He is there, assuring you that no matter what comes, you will always have His support and guidance. God's presence is a reminder that there is always a reason to have hope. Spiritual transformation is a profound and continuous process that God performs in each of us. It is not a superficial or immediate change, but a renewal that affects all areas of our lives. As we allow His love to penetrate our being, we begin to see the world and our circumstances differently. This change is not only reflected in our relationship with God, but also in how we manage our finances, how we perceive money as a divine blessing, and how we trust in the financial miracles that He offers us. God works tirelessly to restore and revitalize our spirit. Sometimes, this work involves stripping away old beliefs that limit us, making us see that we are worthy of His love and blessings. This process can be challenging, but it is necessary to reach the full potential that God has for us. When we embrace this transformation, our lives align with His plans, opening the doors to a life of abundance and prosperity, including those financial blessings we so long for. The revitalization of our dreams is another key aspect of spiritual transformation. Often, the pressures of life and economic difficulties make us abandon our dreams or settle for less than we deserve. However, God does not want us to live a life of mediocrity. His desire is for us to dream big and trust that He has the resources and power to make those dreams a reality, including those that require a financial miracle to be achieved. This transformation process also involves learning to trust in God's timing. Sometimes, we want to see immediate results, especially when it comes to our finances. But spiritual transformation teaches us to be patient and to wait on the Lord, knowing that He has a perfect plan. While we wait, God works within us, preparing us to receive His blessings in a way that we can truly appreciate and use wisely, never losing sight of the fact that each financial blessing is a divine gift. Throughout this transformation, it is crucial to recognize that we are not alone. God is with us every step of the way, guiding and strengthening us. When we face challenges, it is easy to fall into despair, but spiritual transformation gives us the strength to persevere. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments, God is working for our good, preparing the way for a future full of prosperity and financial miracles that exceed our expectations. Spiritual transformation also calls us to be more generous and compassionate. As we draw closer to God and experience His love, we feel a natural desire to share our blessings with others. This change in our hearts not only makes us more aware of the needs of those around us, but it also opens the door to receive even more blessings. When we give generously, God multiplies what we have, creating a cycle of abundance that affects both our finances and our spiritual life. Part of this transformation process is learning to fully trust God in all areas of our lives, especially our finances. Often, we try to control everything on our own, forgetting that God is in control and that He knows what is best for us. By letting go of our worries and trusting in His plan, we experience a peace that surpasses human understanding. This trust frees us from anxiety and allows us to enjoy the blessings and financial miracles that God has in store for us. Another area where we see spiritual transformation is in our perspective on money. Before, we might have seen it only as a means to achieve our personal goals, but as God transforms our spirit, we begin to see it as a resource that He entrusts to us to do His will. This change in mindset leads us to use money more wisely and generously, recognizing that every cent is a blessing that God has given us to be managed responsibly. God also transforms our lives by renewing our minds. The old beliefs and thought patterns that limited us are replaced by the truth of His Word. This renewal allows us to see our circumstances from a heavenly perspective, where earthly limitations have no power. By allowing God to transform our minds, we begin to believe in the impossible, trusting that financial miracles are not only possible but within the reach of our faith. The spiritual transformation process leads us to a place of deep gratitude. As we experience renewal in our spirit, we realize how blessed we are and how much we have received from God. This gratitude motivates us to live a life that honors God in all areas, including our finances. By being grateful, we not only acknowledge the blessings we have already received, but also open our hearts to receive even more, trusting that God will provide financial miracles at the perfect time. One of the most evident fruits of spiritual transformation is unwavering faith. As God works in us, our faith is strengthened, allowing us to face any challenge with confidence. This faith not only sustains us in difficult times but also enables us to believe in the supernatural, in the financial miracles that God can perform in our lives. With this faith, we walk with the certainty that God is by our side, transforming our spirit and our circumstances for His glory. Spiritual transformation is also reflected in our relationships. As God transforms our hearts, we become more loving, patient, and understanding with others. This not only improves our personal relationships, but also opens doors to new opportunities for blessing. When we treat others with the love and grace we have received from God, He rewards us with deeper and more meaningful relationships, as well as financial miracles that come through those connections. In this process of transformation, it is essential to remember that God is not only interested in changing our external situation, but also in renewing our inner being. He wants us to live in fullness, enjoying His peace, His love, and His provision. This change begins in our spirit but extends to all areas of our lives, including our finances. By allowing God to transform us, we open the door to a future full of blessings, where financial miracles are a natural manifestation of His power in our lives. God has made it clear throughout Scripture that His promises are firm and true. No matter how uncertain the future or how great the challenges, His promises are an anchor that sustains us. He not only promises to give us what we need, but also assures us that His plan for our lives is full of blessings. These blessings are not only material but also spiritual, encompassing all areas of our lives. By trusting in His promises, we open the door to receiving financial blessings and miracles that surpass what we could imagine. Abundance is one of God's key promises to His children. He is not a God of scarcity, but of abundance. When we walk in His will, He pours out blessings on us in ways that often surprise us. These blessings can take the form of unexpected financial opportunities, restored relationships, or even an inner peace that is priceless. The important thing is to remember that every blessing is a reflection of His love and His desire to see us prosper in all areas, including our financial life. In times of difficulty, it is easy to forget God's promises. Financial uncertainty, debts, or unexpected expenses can make us doubt His provision. However, it is precisely in these moments that we must hold on to His promises with more strength. God has not promised us a life free of challenges, but He has assured us that He will be with us every step of the way, guiding us and providing what we need to overcome any obstacle. By maintaining our faith, we will experience how His promises are fulfilled, bringing financial blessings even in the midst of adversity. God also promises to give us peace in the midst of life's storms. This peace is a gift that transcends circumstances and allows us to trust in His plan, no matter what we face. When we trust that God is in control, our financial worries begin to fade. We know that, although money may be temporarily lacking, His provision will never fail. This peace allows us to walk with confidence, knowing that blessings and financial miracles are on the way. Another important promise from God is that He will guide us in all our decisions. We do not have to face life alone or rely solely on our wisdom. God is willing to direct our steps, showing us the way to prosperity and success. This includes financial decisions, where His guidance can make the difference between abundance and scarcity. By seeking His guidance and following His principles, we position ourselves to receive the blessings He has prepared for us, including those financial miracles we so desperately need. God also promises to protect us from those who try to harm us. This protection applies not only to physical dangers, but also to attacks on our prosperity. He surrounds us with His love and favor, creating a shield that defends us from any harm. By trusting in this protection, we can live with the assurance that our finances, our relationships, and our peace are under His care. This confidence allows us to move forward without fear, knowing that God guards and blesses us every step of the way. God's promises also include His daily provision. Jesus taught us to pray for our daily bread, reminding us that God takes care of our daily needs. This provision is not limited to what we eat, but encompasses everything we need to live. Each day, God gives us what is necessary to keep moving forward, providing what we need, whether in the form of money, health, or relationships. By trusting in His provision, we experience a life free of anxiety, where financial blessings become a daily reality. One of the most encouraging aspects of God's promises is that they do not depend on our circumstances. His word is unchanging, which means that His promises remain firm, no matter what we are facing. Even when things seem impossible, we can trust that God will fulfill His promises. This includes promises of prosperity and financial blessings, which are not limited by our current situations but manifest according to His perfect plan and timing. God also promises to give us wisdom when we need it. This wisdom is essential, especially in times when we face difficult decisions, such as how to manage our finances. By asking God to guide us, He gives us the clarity and understanding needed to make decisions that lead us to prosperity. This wisdom not only helps us overcome present challenges, but also prepares us for future blessings, allowing us to handle financial miracles with integrity and gratitude. God's promises remind us that He is faithful. No matter how many times we have failed or how many times we have strayed from His path, His faithfulness remains. When we face uncertainty, we can look back and see how God has been faithful in the past, giving us the confidence that He will continue to be faithful in the future. This certainty allows us to wait with hope for the financial miracles that God has in store for us. God's blessing is not only manifested in the material, but also in the spiritual. As we walk in His promises, we experience a peace and joy that go beyond what the world can offer. This spiritual blessing is the foundation upon which all other blessings, including financial ones, are built. By seeking first His kingdom and His righteousness, all other things are added to us, as Jesus promised. This is the key to living a truly blessed life, where the material and the spiritual align under divine provision. Part of God's promises includes giving us the desires of our hearts when they align with His will. This means that when our dreams and desires are in tune with what God wants for us, He delights in granting them to us. This promise encourages us to dream big, to trust that God will not only provide what we need, but also give us what we deeply desire, including financial blessings that will make our biggest dreams come true. God also promises to give us a purpose. We are not here by chance. Each of us has a unique role to play in His plan. When we discover and walk in that purpose, we experience a deep satisfaction that can only come from living according to God's plan. This purpose often manifests in how we use our blessings, including financial ones, to positively impact those around us. By living with purpose, we not only receive blessings but also become a channel of blessing to others. God promises to be with us until the end. This promise of His constant presence is a reminder that no matter what we face, we are never alone. He walks with us, guiding, protecting, and blessing us. This assurance allows us to face any challenge with confidence, knowing that in the end, God's blessings, including financial miracles, will be there to sustain us. God is like a refuge in the midst of the storm, a safe place we can turn to when the world seems in chaos. His protection is a constant reminder of His love and care for us. No matter how big the problem or how dark the path may seem, His presence surrounds us and gives us the assurance that we are safe. This does not mean that we will not face challenges, but it does mean that we will not face them alone. With God by our side, we can be sure that although the enemy tries to bring us down, he will not succeed. Divine protection also manifests in our financial lives. Sometimes we face attacks that seek to destabilize our finances, whether through unexpected losses, unforeseen expenses, or wrong decisions. However, when we trust in God and follow His principles, His protection covers us, preventing us from falling into ruin. He gives us wisdom to manage our money in a way that glorifies His name and guides us toward decisions that lead to prosperity. This financial protection is a blessing that we must not underestimate. Part of divine protection includes the peace that surpasses all understanding. In the midst of the most difficult challenges, God gives us a tranquility that cannot be explained in words. This peace is not the absence of problems, but the certainty that, no matter what happens, God is in control. With this peace in our hearts, we can face any situation with courage, knowing that we are protected by the Almighty. This assurance allows us to move forward with confidence, even when the path seems uncertain. God also protects us from negative influences that try to lead us away from His purpose. In a world full of distractions and temptations, it is easy to stray from the right path. But His Holy Spirit acts as a guide, warning us when we are about to take a wrong turn. By paying attention to His voice and obeying His direction, we avoid many dangers that could derail our lives and our finances. This protection is evidence of God's unconditional love, who always seeks the best for us. Divine protection extends to our relationships. God surrounds us with people who support and encourage us in our walk of faith, while also protecting us from those who seek to harm us. Sometimes, this protection manifests by removing certain people from our lives, people who do not have our best interest in mind. Although it can be painful, we must trust that God knows what He is doing and that His protection is always for our good. Trusting in His plan allows us to live with peace, knowing that He is guarding our relationships and guiding us toward connections that bless us. God also protects us from ourselves, from our own weaknesses and mistakes. Often, we are our worst enemies, making decisions that harm us and lead us away from the blessings that God has for us. However, His grace is so great that even when we make mistakes, He lifts us up and puts us back on the right path. This protection does not mean that we will not face consequences, but it does mean that, with His help, we can overcome them and learn from them. God transforms our failures into opportunities to grow and be stronger in our faith. Another way God protects us is by providing His Word as a guide for life. The Scriptures are full of wisdom and advice that, if followed, protect us from many evils. By living according to biblical principles, we avoid falling into traps that could lead to destruction. God, in His infinite goodness, extends a constant invitation to dialogue. No matter where we are or what we are doing, He is always willing to listen to us. This invitation is not reserved for special moments or formal ceremonies. It is an open offer at any place and time. God encourages us to talk to Him about everything, from our deepest concerns to the most trivial details of our daily lives. By doing so, we create a stronger bond with Him, one that brings us peace, clarity, and yes, even financial blessings in the process. Dialogue with God does not have to be complicated. Elaborate words or specific formulas are not necessary. What matters is the sincerity of our hearts. This kind of intimate and open relationship is what God desires for each of us. When we open our hearts and speak to Him, without filters or reservations, we experience a relief and freedom that can only come from knowing we have been heard by the Creator of the universe. Through this constant dialogue, we begin to see how God works in our lives in surprising ways. By sharing our joys and sorrows, our achievements and failures, we become more aware of His presence and guiding hand. This dialogue not only draws us closer to God, but also helps us see the blessings He pours out on us daily. It is in this space of sincere conversation where we often receive answers to our prayers and experience the financial miracles we so desperately need. The invitation to dialogue is also an opportunity to learn to listen to God. Sometimes, we are so busy talking and asking that we forget that dialogue is a two-way street. God speaks to us in many ways, through His Word, through people in our lives, and even through the circumstances we face. Learning to recognize His voice and respond to His guidance is a skill that develops over time. By paying attention to what He tells us, we not only grow spiritually but also find clear direction in our finances and every aspect of our lives. God invites us to talk to Him not only when we are in need, but also in moments of gratitude. Expressing our gratitude for what we have received is a vital part of our relationship with Him. This gratitude not only honors God, but also reminds us how blessed we are. By cultivating a grateful heart, we position ourselves to receive even more blessings and financial miracles. Recognizing God's goodness in both good and bad times strengthens our faith and helps us maintain a positive perspective, no matter the circumstances. Dialogue with God also offers us a way to deal with our worries and fears. Instead of carrying our burdens alone, we can give them to Him, knowing that He has the power to solve any problem we face. This act of entrusting our worries to God not only relieves us, but also opens the door for His peace and provision to enter our lives. When we let Him take care of our needs, we experience a freedom that is priceless, and we see how financial blessings begin to flow in unexpected ways. One of the most beautiful aspects of the invitation to dialogue is that no topic is too small or insignificant for God. Often, we think we should only come to Him with serious problems or important decisions, but the truth is that God is interested in every detail of our lives. From our finances to our relationships, everything matters to Him. This knowledge gives us the freedom to talk to Him about everything, from our daily concerns to our biggest dreams. By doing so, we find comfort and direction in all areas of our lives. Constant dialogue with God also helps us stay focused on what really matters. In a world full of distractions and noise, it is easy to lose sight of our priorities. But when we take the time to talk to God and listen to His voice, we find clarity and direction. This focus allows us to make wiser decisions, not only in our finances, but in every aspect of our lives. By keeping our connection with God strong and active, we ensure that we are walking in His will and receiving the blessings He has promised. God also invites us to use dialogue as a way to intercede for others. Our prayers not only have the power to change our lives, but also to positively impact those around us. By praying for the needs of others, we become channels of blessing, allowing God's love and provision to flow through us. This intercession not only brings changes in the lives of those for whom we pray, but also strengthens our relationship with God and positions us to receive His blessings in our own lives, including financial miracles. Dialogue with God is also a refuge in times of confusion and doubt. When we do not know which way to go or how to solve a problem, we can turn to Him for guidance and wisdom. God will never leave us without an answer. He is always willing to show us the right path. By trusting in His direction, we avoid making impulsive or wrong decisions that could harm our finances or relationships. This divine guidance is one of the greatest benefits of maintaining constant dialogue with God, ensuring that we are always walking in His will. Now that you have heard this powerful message, the decision is in your hands. God has shown you the way, given you the tools, and promised a financial miracle if you trust Him and act in faith. But true transformation will only happen if you take action. Are you ready to see how God works in your life in a way you have never experienced before? This is the moment to leave behind doubt and fear. It is time to take that step of faith that will lead you to a life full of blessings, prosperity, and abundance. Ask yourself, what are you willing to do to see that change you so desire? How much longer will you wait to take control of your future? God has already shown you the way, but only you can decide to walk it. Do not let opportunities pass you by. This is your moment to shine, to receive that financial miracle you have been waiting for. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to change your life? I invite you to make a decision today. Do not just hold on to what you have heard, put it into practice. Start by strengthening your relationship with God, by trusting His promise, and by opening your heart to what He has prepared for you. It is no coincidence that you have come this far. God has great things for you, but you must be willing to receive them. And if you want to keep learning and discovering how to apply these principles in your daily life, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any content that can help you transform your life and achieve the prosperity that God has for you.